Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be taking a look at a region that often gets overlooked because they just kind of get clumped in there with the US, and that is going to be Canada. So if you don't know, there are 4 regions in Smash right now, or at least most people consider 4 regions. There's the United States, there's Mexico, there's Japan, and then there's all of Europe. Those are the 4 strongest regions because they just have the highest concentration of top players. Japan is its own region from Asia because Japan is so strong. Same thing with Mexico and the United States. And Canada usually gets put in there with the US because a lot of people will say Canada, it's like, oh, they have like a couple players, but not enough. But I think that there is so much top talent in Canada that it should be considered its own region, or at least is close to being considered its own region. And that is what we are going to be talking about today. I'm going to be looking at the 5 top Canadian players, plus mentioning like a bunch of other ones. So let's just get right into it. A bunch of people I want to mention, and I'm not going to mention every single Canadian top player because there's just so many. But here are just some people that like at least came to my mind. We have Burst, Supergirl Kells, Captain L, Machu, Tickle, Exodia, Grape, Spam Cop, and Lemon. I think all these players are absolutely incredible. They could make a run at any tournament, and a lot of them have made runs at tournaments like Gomble and Battle BC. We saw a ton of these players. I mean, it was on Canadian home turf, so it makes sense. But Back in Blood, we've seen a couple of them have good runs. Like, they're all absolutely incredible. They're so good, and they're just like some of what Canada has to offer. And I want to get into the first person in the top 5, at least my Canadian top 5. Maybe you have someone else in there, but I have in 5th place Black Twins. I think Black Twins is absolutely unreal. He is so good. He plays mainly Pichu Aegis, I believe. It says he mains Cloud, but I think that was online mainly. Yeah, it was mainly online. So he plays mainly Pichu and Aegis. Recently, it seems more like Aegis and then secondary Pichu or counterpick, but he basically just co-mains the character, which, hey, on this channel, we love co-mains, and he is so consistent. Like, a 17th at Let's Make Moves Miami is very good, only losing to Onin Dark Wizzy. 25th at Big House is pretty good, only losing to Colorado Esam. Ripped, and he almost beat Esam, by the way. Riptide, he beat ZD. Panda Bear, only losing to Tilde Suarez. Tilde won the whole thing, by the way. At Shine, he got 17th there, beating Pelka, only losing to Mars and Blitz Luigi. Mars, definitely a good loss there, and then Blitz, a little bit of an upset, but not the end of the world. SmashCon, he got 49th with SmashCon is actually really good, beating Mugen and beating Luma for only losing to Yanni and Waidu. Double Steve, unlucky honestly. Gomwell 17th, beating Raven King. Battle BC 33rd at Pound. Like, he is consistently getting like 33rd, like the lowest placement that he has. Literally this year, because this was pre-quarantine, is going to be his 49th at SmashCon, which is crazy. He is just so consistent. The only thing maybe holding him back is he hasn't had any of those crazy runs. Like, his highest placement at a major is, I believe, 17th, which is phenomenal, but I know he can go higher. Like, I think it was Shine was his, like, probably his biggest run that he's ever had. It was Shine, the one that Sam sort of run. I don't know where it is. Hold on. Let me find this. Yeah, he got 9th place there. Sorry for the ad. 9th place there, beating Goblin, Justy, Puppe, Ralphie. Like, those are all amazing players, only losing to Buzz Raffi. Like, that is an absolutely incredible run, and I know he can replicate that, especially with that co-main of Aegis and Pichu, which is, like, a weird co-main. Like, you don't see a lot of Pichu, so that's probably why it's weird, but I really like that combination of this, like, small rat that rushed down and this massive sword character. I think the way he balances them is really well, and I have a ton of faith in Black Twins. I think he's absolutely amazing, and he can do well at literally any tournament he goes to. Like, you always have to watch out for him. He's always in that top 32-64, and he is just absolutely incredible. Someone else that has been making waves recently is going to be Anarchy. Anarchy, I might have him a little high. He's more of an up-and-comer for sure, but he had, like, look, he has insufficient data for offline only because he's only been to 5 offline events, and one of them he got 9th at Shine, one of them he won a tournament. Like, he won 2 locals, 5th, 2nd. He has not gotten worse than 9th in his entire career, and he lost to Esam and Light, by the way, at Shine, which is honestly just bad luck of the draw, but he beat the Actuary, who is having an incredible run. He beat Crafties, who is an absolutely amazing player. Like, he is so, and he made an upset over Yanni as well. I forgot. He made, like, I don't know if it was the biggest upset of the tournament, but one of the biggest upsets of the tournament over Yanni. He is just insane, and we are going to be seeing him at the Panda Cup, which I think is super sick. That's going to be so hype. I know he'll make a run. I might have him a little high. He might not actually be top 5, but for the amount of faith I have in him, I have to put him in here because he is just unreal. unreal. The way he moves is incredible. One of the only Greninja players to be doing it like this, because like Tarek, it feels like he's mainly Kazuya now. Well, actually, he does have a decent balance, but then Leah hasn't been playing as much. I think Actuary is or Anarchy is probably the best Greninja that we have in the States, and I know, hey, I know all the Greninja fanboys are loving it because there's a lot of people that like this character, and it doesn't get represented, and I think Anarchy is just so sick, and he has so much potential. Like, he is only, again, he's only been to 5 tournaments, and he won 2 of them, even though they're just locals. Like, winning your first couple tournaments that you go to, that proves a ton of potential, and I have incredibly high hopes for Anarchy, and I really hope he does well at the Panda Cup. Now, the next 3, the top 3 in Canada, everyone is probably going to be a little bit more familiar with, and the first one is, of course, Ouch. Ouch is on another level. Same thing with Anarchy, where it's like potential, I think, is obscene, but he's kind of already proved his potential with that run at Battle of BC that he had, getting, I believe it was 3rd, only losing to T and I forget who put him into losers. So he got upset. No, this was an upset. He was seated fairly low. He lost to Larry Lure, and then he beat Black Twins, Ludo, who's another amazing player. I don't know if Ludo is Ludo Canada? I don't think he is. Load. Yeah, okay, he's not. I had to check. But he beat Ludo, he beat H4, he beat Big D, he beat MVD, he beat Komei, he beat Shootone, he beat Riddles before losing to T. That is an insane run. And then at Gommel, he has another pretty good performance there, beating Sinji and Patra, only losing to Syrup and Aaron, like both amazing players respectively. And then at Summit, he gets 9th place, which, again, 9th place at Summit is very good, beating Cosmos as well, who is an absolutely incredible player, and then taking games off of Proto, Cola, Light, taking Game 5 versus Anathema, taking Game of Spargo. Like, I know it's like, oh, Game 5 and it was close, or Game 4 and it was close. It's like, it seems silly, but to prove that you can contest with the best of us, like, these are literally, all of them are top 10 players, a lot of them top 5, and he is, like, fighting. He's putting up the effort, and he hasn't been to, like, a ton of majors. I think his last major was back in Blood, where he didn't do great. He went to Ludwig's as well, where he got 9th place there at the LCQ, which is actually pretty good, beating Shine, Six Master, and Doorstop, or losing to Goblin Lima. Like, Ouch is just unreal. I would say he's the best wolf in the world right now. It's between him and probably Orion or Jackal. Jackal might have it, but I just think Ouch is absolutely unreal. So much potential on him, and he's gonna do amazing. Like, he has a bright future, arguably the brightest out of anyone, in my opinion, in the world. But hey, we're Ouch fans over here. The next person I think a lot of people are going to be aware of is because he's been making waves recently, and that is Big D. Big D has been around since, I believe, the Brawl days, and at the start of Smash Ultimate, he farmed. Middle of Smash Ultimate, he farmed. Right now, he's doing the best he's ever done, which is crazy. In this meta, the Steve Kazuya meta, the Ice Climber player, is playing out of their mind. He just got 9th at the Ludwig Invitational, beating Light, Jackal, Riddles, Tweak, Rickster, Hungrybox, AO, Xavier, Doorstop, Skittles, SkyJ, only losing to Steve's. He literally only lost to Steve and Aegis, which is, like, crazy. He is so good. And then he has a 25th at Back in Blood, which isn't amazing for a player of his caliber, but still pretty decent as well. Let me make this 100 because I want to find his Gommel run. I don't want to scroll for it. There's the Gommel run. 2nd place there. Again, only losing to Steve. It seems like the only things that can take him down consistently at majors is like these Steve or like these massive sword characters, which there's a decent amount of in the meta, granted, but he still fares well against a lot of them. He beat Zenodo, he beat Aaron, he beat Syrup, Cosmos, and Riddles all at Gommel, as well as, who did he beat before that? He also beat Soar and Burst, who are both amazing Canadian players. Soar probably should have been in the honorable mentions because he's kind of crazy as well. 13th at Battle of BC is really good, beating Supergirl Kells, Leon, and Kells again, honestly just unlucky, and then only losing to Riddles. Ouch. Like, he is just amazing. I don't know how he does it. It's like, a lot of players, it's like, okay, this player's amazing, they're playing a really good character, and they utilize their character so well. Big D is playing this not good character. I don't care, your IC's propaganda, whatever. At best, fully optimized, this character's like bottom of high tier, fully optimized, like to a computer. Like, Big D, just the way he pilots this character is unreal. His Sopo is obscene. Like, Slug and Big D, the reason they are the best Ice Climbers by far in their respective games is because their Sopo is just on another level. Like, they're both amazing players. I don't know why I brought up Slug. I was thinking about Melee Ice Climbers for some reason. But yeah, Big D is just an absolutely unreal player. He has been doing the best he's ever done, arguably. He's like, the way he's playing is like top like 30 in the world. Like 9th at Ludwig's with like, again, like a bunch of top 10 wins, some of them top 5, is just crazy. And he's 3-0ing. He 3-0'd Riddles. Like, that is a statement. And yeah, I think he's 100% deserving of that second spot place. And then everyone knows the first spot. That is going to be, of course, Riddles. If you don't know who Riddles is, you what? Have you made this video so far? Riddles is absolutely unreal. He obviously got 4th at Let's Say Goose Miami, which is pretty good, honestly. Pretty good. It's top 8. It's very good. Beating Apollo Kage, Tweak, Aaron, Jen, Justin Byleth. Ludwig Invitational, one of his worst performances in the season. He got 9th place, beating Lima, Meister, Jackal, and Zomba, losing to Cola, Big D, Aquila, and Spargo, which is like not bad losses at all. The worst of them is arguably, not arguably, the worst of them is probably Big D, but we just talked about how crazy Big D is. He won Big House, beating Light and Onin multiple times, or he beat Light multiple times, and he beat Tweak there as well, Dark Wizzy, and Hans PV. Summit, he got 5th place, beating Gluto, Leo, Dom, and Cola. Like, just, he is such an amazing player with such a high skill floor, which is, it's just so helpful. And he also plays Kazuya. He's definitely the best Kazuya in the world, and he has a really good Terry as well. I don't know who he is playing right now, because I think he's probably a better Terry player, but people are worse against Kazuya, if that makes sense. Like, the way Riddles plays Terry is just absolutely unreal, but then if he's hitting his conversions, his Kazuya's way better, but the Terry's more consistent. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does balance them in the future, because I think I don't know if he tweeted it or I made that up, after Let's Play Goose Miami, he's going to shift back more to co-maining instead of just trying to stick everything out with Kazuya, because while Kazuya is an amazing character, it is very hard to play against people that are just like obscenely good at the matchup, and the Terry allows you a lot more freedom of movement. And yeah, that is all I really have for today. Canada is an absolutely incredible region. Should they be considered a solo region right now? I don't think right now they should, but like any of these like 5 players, especially this top 4, I think is just absolutely incredible. Honestly, especially the top 5, is just absolutely incredible. And then any of the players that I mentioned earlier, plus like a ton more that we didn't even mention, like Sword, just one off the top of my head that we saw in the brackets. Like there's so many amazing people here that I just didn't mention, and that's because Canada is incredibly stacked, and I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If there's a Canadian player I left out, please let me know down below. I'll be sure to like pin the comment, shout them out, whatever hard it. I don't know how I'll do it. I'll figure it out. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Be sure to sub. All that yada yada. Support has been amazing lately, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.